The St. Louis area is bracing for the possibility of more violence.
Crowds are expected to return tonight, and Governor Jay Nixon just announced more than 2,200 National Guard members will be in place to respond.
The calls for justice are only getting louder. Lawyers for the Brown family criticized the grand jury system today, saying prosecutors have ongoing relationships with the Ferguson police. The grand jury's decision not to indict Officer Darren Wilson is not only sparking outrage among protesters, it's also sparking questions.
News Channel 5's Andrea Klein-Thomas takes a closer look at how a grand jury works and why some say the process is flawed.
There's no question that Officer Darren Wilson killed Michael Brown, but the grand jury is charged with determining if Wilson committed a crime, and they say he didn't.
Why weren't these killer cops held accountable?
Pain and anger turned into destruction after a grand jury decided not to indict Officer Darren Wilson in the shooting death of Michael Brown Jr.
This system is so unfair to the citizens.
The facts meant to clarify the controversial decision for Michael Brown's family and attorneys is instead leaving more questions than answers.
Have you ever heard a prosecutor go in a press conference to explain to the press why the one that did the killing is not going to trial, but the victim is guilty of several things that no one has established?
I indicted police officers when I was in the DA's office, and while there's no sort of written rule that you have to have more evidence, you realize that you're going to be putting a police officer in front of 12 jurors.
Rob McGuire served for 13 years in the Davidson County District Attorney's Office and weighed in on the Ferguson decision.
They got to actually hear from the person who they would potentially indict, which is unusual.
A grand jury's proceeding is not a trial. There is no cross-examination. Other than the prosecutors, the only questions come from the jury, who are often new to this legal process. Despite the lack of an indictment, McGuire says the message is still very significant.
Whatever happened on the street in Ferguson matters on the streets of Nashville, Tennessee, because we have to do a better job of protecting young black men. We have to empower police officers to feel like that they don't have to treat everybody like a suspect.
The legal proceedings are not over. There's still an investigation being conducted by the Department of Justice, and Brown's parents could file a civil lawsuit. Reporting from the newsroom, I'm Andrea Klein-Thomas, News Channel 5 HD.
And hundreds are expected to attend a vigil tonight in downtown Nashville. It'll start at 7 o'clock outside Metro Police headquarters along James Robertson Parkway. The event was posted on Facebook, and so far we're hearing at least 200 people do plan to be there.